How are you guys doing? Welcome back to some more amazing, hopefully, JToH content, where today we're going to be looking at what difficulty Tower of Tokyo Heights really is and what it should be, because it's a tower that I've had a lot of struggle with. In fact, as of the day I'm recording this, the first time I ever beat it legit was this morning. So, yes, I am very happy that I now have the official experience to rank this tower. But anyway, let's go through the basic messages. Like, please make sure you guys drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel, because that really would help a lot. Please just do it. Also, the difficulties that I do actually rank the floors and the overall difficulty of this tower that I rank, they're all personal opinions, so you don't have to go into the tower thinking that it's going to be, whatever difficulty that I end up saying that it is overall, because obviously that's just what I personally think of the tower. You can think it's like really easy and it wouldn't make much of a difference. So yeah, don't worry about that. And yeah, let's get on to the video. Floor 1 is actually much easier than the rest of the tower is, to be honest. All you've really got to do here is find a button that gets you to enter the main building, and that's really it. There's nothing else here, to be honest. As for the floor, it's not that bad. It's just basic jumps and stuff like that. It's not hard at all, so I think the difficulty that I'm going to go with is high challenging. Floor 2 is, again, really short, but as for the raw gameplay, it is actually a lot harder. There's a 3x2 stick out wrap, which, just picture that yourself for an intense tower. It's a little bit much, and there's definitely a couple complicated trust flicks on this floor as well. Which, again, yeah, trust flicks are common for intenses, but the ones here can be kind of annoying. And yeah, the gameplay is definitely no joke, so I would give this one a mid-high intense. You might think that's a little bit overrated, but trust me, you would get it if if you're in my perspective. And now we head on to floor 3, which is, again, it's pretty basic. The jumps are kind of simple, but they are a little bit awkward sometimes, and you know, the one, especially the one where you have to wedge yourself into like a two-stud gap, that can be a little bit weird because you've got to do a wrap around there as well, which makes it a very awkward, to say the least. It is pretty tame though, in the sense that there's not much to actually worry about. It's just kind of average, classic Kato era gameplay. So I'd give it a low mid intense. Floor 4, which is the first floor in the tower in which you have to do a sort of neo outside section. There are technically no outside sections in this tower, so the majority just consider being outside of the main building as an outside section. Nevertheless though, the outside is pretty hard, with some tight wraps and a very awkward X-pusher jump. Inside the tower it can get hectic as well, with a 10 seconds time button section. It's very weird sometimes, this tower, and floor 4 is kind of an example of this tower's not playing around, but it's really short. So, there's that. I would give this one a high intense, I think. Okay, well, floor 5 is kind of infamous for its beat block section, and yeah, it's also another one that's pretty bad in terms of gameplay and structuring, but, it's one of the most interesting floors of the tower, to say the least. It's home to the very frustrating beat blocks, which, is probably the only part you actually remember from this floor, if I'm being honest with you. These are incredibly hard to learn. They're also really frustrating to time as well, even if you have learned them. The outside's also got some general just tight jumps and easily failable gimmicks as well. Here's when I take a potentially controversial stand here, and I'll say mid-remorseless. It might be controversial, but mid-remorseless for me. Floor 6, it's sort of a bit of a break in terms of, it doesn't actually have an outside for once. It might seem a little bit of a weird thing now for people that have played this tower for this long, but the inside jumps can be a bit tricky, and they're nothing too major though. It is just a few far jumps and complex wraps, with spinning boxes at the end. I'd give this a bottom low intense. Much easier than, you know, a lot of other stuff that we have seen so far in this tower. Floor 7 is another outside section floor. However, this one is a lot more reliant on the nerve control factor than anything else. Inside also contains the most important section of the tower, a button to press so that you can actually win it, so do not miss that one out. Please, for the love of God. And the spinners after the outside section are very hard to time and manoeuvre around, so this floor can definitely be a pain. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give it a bottom remorseless. I think that's good enough. Floor 8 is the last floor in the tower that doesn't have an outside, and for a floor that doesn't have an outside, it can actually get kind of annoying. The gameplay inside is a bit tricky, however it's nothing that you haven't done so far, it's just kind of a few weird wraps. Honestly, the hardest thing that I would say is here is probably going to be the lodge jump. That's probably like the hardest thing here, and even that can be easy in its own way, so yeah. I'm going to give it bottom low intense. Floor 9 is infamous for, obviously, its outside section. The outside feels harder than what they've put in the actual tower so far. Well, in the building, obviously, you know, because technically everything is inside the tower. But, you know, I digress. There's some incredibly terrifying wraparounds and some trust flicks on the outside, as well as a lot of finicky jumps that are just going to ruin your day altogether. I think this floor would honestly get a low remorseless, just because not only are you nervous, but the tower does not forgive you at all when you're on this outside. So yeah, low remorseless it's going to be. And finally, we have floor 10, which is, of course, the final floor of the tower. So it's going to be hard, but, you know, this is pretty much what stops people from beating Tower of Tokyo Heights altogether. On the inside, you've got some really tight trust flick jumps, a wall hop, and a scary wraparound to go along with that. But then you get to the outside. After first doing some one studs, you are then treated to the lovely ladder flicks. And they ruin most people's runs due to the very poor physics of ladder flicks. After that, of course, you do get the win, but this floor's definitely going to get a low mid remorseless, because, you know, the amount of runs that this has ended, and that's just talking about me, myself, yeah, you know, it's a lot. Can't imagine how many people have lost their run here due to this floor, so yeah, low mid rem. So, after all that, we want to say, what difficulty really is this tower then? Well, I'm going to give this a high intense. The gameplay is admittedly fluctuating between intense and remorseless a lot, but I think due to how short this tower is and how quickly it can be done if you get consistent with the outsides, I can't see this being anywhere near remorseless, to be honest, and it's just, yeah, it's very short, it's a very quick experience, so yeah, I can't see this being anything higher than that. But I also can't see it being anything lower, you know, this tower's very hard indeed. Thank you guys so much for watching. Honestly, you know, this has been a very fun video to make. I've very much enjoyed actually, you know, ranking this tower and, you know, going over objectively what difficulty it is. I think, you know, that the difficulty, you know, playlist is probably my favourite to make. But yeah, it would really help me out if you guys subscribed, liked the video, and yeah, it really made me happy. Bye, have a good day. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.